Are the pay to submit music companies scams? And are any of them legit? This is a really good question. I get it almost every single week. So I'm going to make a video here and address my thoughts on the pay to play or pay to submit music libraries and sync companies and all that kind of stuff. Whether or not I feel that they're legit, whether or not I feel like you should be partnering with them, or maybe some considerations you should have when deciding if you should partner with them. I would never say that all of them are a scam, because I know that they can all get placements, okay? I know that there are services out there that will pay you, or you will pay them, monthly, quarterly, annual fees to have access to certain listings or opportunities, or to sort of get bid for a potential client that they have. And I know that you can get placements with those companies. However, my personal opinion on it is that a pay to submit company shouldn't be your primary focus in this industry, okay? Personally, myself, I got started without having to pay a dime to anybody to submit anything to any music libraries. Most music libraries I've worked with have actually paid me per submission, right? Not all of them. There's been a lot that have not offered the upfront fees, but I've still made some great back-end money, okay? So I always recommend, don't get too worked up on those upfront sync fees. I know, or consideration fees. I know that there's going to be a lot of libraries that they might not have any money for you up front, and that won't feel that great, because you'll say, well, I'm giving you, a non-exclusive or sometimes even an exclusive track, and you're not even paying me anything up front. But if you're into this business for like a $50 or $100, even a $200 check up front, you're in it for the wrong reasons, okay? That's not really where your income is going to come from. Yeah, that'll pay your gas bill or your utility bill this month, and then that's it. So I understand that it feels weird to send somebody a piece of work that you've done and not get anything up front for it. But I'm just telling you from my perspective of where I'm sitting here, almost 10 years into this industry, having those back-end royalties is the only reason why I'm able to do this, and why I didn't have to go turn tail and go get a day job again, or have to find some sort of other work to supplement my income. It's those quarterly royalty checks that keep streaming in, that are keeping me afloat and are keeping my bank account nice and fat. So the upfront sync fees are great, but I can tell you, like, you blow through those things, or the consideration fees, you blow through those things very quickly. They don't stick around for years and years and years. It's the back end royalties. So I'd say more importantly than the payments you receive up front from these kind of companies, do they have legit relationships? Look at their track record. What kind of TV shows are they getting placements with? How do you stand in relation to the catalog that they currently have? So if you produce rock music, are your rock tracks better, or at least on par with their other rock producers? Because if they're not, you are going to be you're going to be sitting on the sidelines for them. They're not going to be going to your tracks as much as they would be going to a much better sounding producer, right? So you also have to keep yourself, you got to keep yourself honest. Where do you really sit in their catalog? I've been a part of libraries where I was probably the worst sounding producer on their catalog, and I didn't get as many placements. I've been in other catalogs where I'm one of the better sounding ones, and I've seen more placements. So there's absolutely a relationship there, depending on if you're the star, right? You're the one on their catalog that's really shining. And every library has a couple of them, because they'll show those off more than other producers. They'll put their album, artwork in the front and really show off to their clients. Hey, look who we have. Look at these great tracks we have. So your best insurance to succeed in this business is really making sure your tracks are the hottest they can possibly be, above and beyond who you're working with and what relationships they have. If your tracks are on fire, you're going to be getting through doors, right? Your music will speak for itself, and you're going to be pushing yourself through opportunities that if your music was mediocre, not that great, you're just going to get sat on or ignored or just not responded to. So overall, the pay to submit companies, I would say, if you find that they are getting great placements and you see for yourself evidence they're getting great placements and you can afford their fees, I would never tell you not to do that. But I would highly, highly recommend that you also, at the same time, really try to focus on companies that will either pay you, right, for an exclusive use of your tracks, or if they're not going to pay you, at least not charge you to, administer your songs and get them placed. Because the pay to submit companies, here's the deal with them. They're dealing with hundreds, thousands, potentially composers just like you. So that means you're just one out of many thousands. So the chances of you rising to the top are much harder. A company, though, like a music library that you're in contact with, they have your phone number, they have your email address, you guys talk on a consistent basis. This is a one-on-one relationship you're dealing with there, right? And so that's a much more powerful position to be in to get placements, because you're going to be one of maybe 25 writers or maybe 50 writers that they're working with consistently and asking for new music from, and they want to know what's going on with you, right? At the end of the day, this is a people business, right? This is a relationship business. So being one out of a couple of thousand, as opposed to being 1 out of 25 or 50 or even 100. Some libraries do work with maybe 100 writers, but 1 out of 100 is so much better than 1 out of 3,000 for a pay to submit company. So I can't write them off, and I can't say that they're not going to do great things for you. I know people that have gotten placements through companies like that, and I know they can land them, but they shouldn't be your primary focus.